Group tickets on sale now. Hurry, the sale ends April 30th. Visit wistatefair.com to save big for group tickets.
The pitch. Hit to left. Deep. Warning track. At the wall. And it is gone. Jackson Chourio.
The Brewers are out east in Pittsburgh to take on the Pirates of the Allegheny River. Coverage of Game 1 begins tonight at 5:05 on your home of the Milwaukee Brewers. News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 3:01. I'm John Merkier. This is Wisconsin's Afternoon News. Your top story: an accused killer enters his plea.
I'm Julia Fellow. A new scam comes this spring.
I'm Debbie Laziga. Southbound on 43, backing up from before Hampton down past Keith. Northbound, we got an accident. It's at Locust and the right lane is blocked. That means everything's slowing down out of the Marquette interchange up to that point. Westbound 94 slow from about 25th Street all the way to about Mitchell Boulevard. And, of course, slowing on 894 westbound out of the Mitchell all the way to 68th Street with that construction zone. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, an isolated evening shower, mild, a low of 51 degrees. Tomorrow, scattered storms, a high of 67. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, man accused of murdering Sade Robinson appeared in court today. Wearing a Milwaukee County Jail orange jumpsuit and his hair in a ponytail, Maxwell Anderson waived his right to a preliminary hearing this afternoon. His attorney, Anthony Cotton, entered a not guilty plea. Anderson accused of first-degree intentional homicide, mutilating a corpse, and arson of Robinson's car after authorities found multiple severed body parts belonging to Robinson scattered across Milwaukee County.
2 deadly bus crashes in less than 48 hours. A car collided with a Milwaukee County Transit bus near 35th in Wisconsin Saturday night. 1 passenger in that car died. The driver taken to the hospital and then into custody. Less than 48 hours before, a speeding vehicle ran a red light near 35th and Capitol Drive, hitting a Milwaukee County Transit bus last Thursday on Milwaukee's northwest side. The driver of that car died. 7 passengers plus the bus driver were injured.
Is there a pattern to the deadly bus crashes? Founding member of the Coalition for Safe Driving MKE, Celia Jackson, tells TMJ4 News what needs to change.
We have to continue to beat the drum and call for safer streets and safer driving. I just don't think that hearing it in the form of everybody slow down resonates in all of the places that it needs to.
MCTS leaders report reckless driving crashes involving buses are up 40% this year.
Beware of new phone scams threatening to shut down your power immediately. Michelle Ryden with the Department of Agriculture, Trade, and Consumer Protection tells Wisconsin's Weekend Morning News she's not surprised since the winter moratorium on shutoffs is over. And important to note, a utility company will never reach out by phone.
It's a process. They're going to send you a written notification to let you know. You'll have also received billing statements that indicate that you are behind on your payment. And then there's even a situation where they come to your door and provide you written notification on your door. All of these steps happen before the actual disconnection.
Ryden says if you are actually struggling with bills, reach out to the utility directly for help.
2 huge grocery store chains hoping to merge need a new plan to appease federal regulators.
Kroger and Albertsons will sell off more of their stores to try and convince federal regulators to approve their proposed merger that was announced in 2022. The Federal Trade Commission has sued to block the deal, saying it would lead to less industry competition and higher food prices. Kroger and Albertsons say they will sell nearly 600 stores to a New Hampshire-based grocery company for nearly $3 billion.
Kroger owns Pick and Save and Metro Market in Wisconsin.
Day 1 of former President Donald Trump's hush money trial finished early after opening statements and just 1 witness.
Walking out of court following opening statements, former President Trump downplayed the allegations against him. Former National Enquirer publisher David Pecker was the first witness called. The state says he was part of an alleged catch-and-kill scheme to purchase and prevent the circulation of negative Trump stories. Jurors are due back in court by 11 tomorrow morning. Jared Hill, CBS News, New York.
Coming up, job training for a special group of seniors.
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 3:05.
This report is sponsored by Associated Bank. You've got this with Associated Bank. Member FDIC.
Associated Bank knows your small business isn't just a venture. It's your dream and a vital part of the community. And we're not just a bank. We're your neighbors. We're looking out for you. That's why Associated Bank offers quick online applications and approvals with funding in as fast as one business day, checking with no minimum balances or maintenance fees, and prompt customer service. Explore our products at associatedbank.com/business or visit a branch for more details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Yes, dents, dings, and accidents happen. Get your vehicle ready for springtime cruising at Heiser's Collision Centers. Our certified body shop technicians and painters, they have 10 plus years of experience. So no matter the damage, we'll get your vehicle looking brand new. We work on all makes, take all insurances, and have discounts for non-insured vehicles. So relax and enjoy one of our complimentary loaners while you wait. Schedule today at Heiser.com. At Heiser, today's your day.
See dealer for complete details.
What you got there?
Dramamine.
Why?
Because we're promoting the cane table.
It's part of the Envy collection at Penny Mustard.
But that's for seasickness.
Look at the cane table. What do you see?
Style.
Charm.
Good old American craftsmanship that lasts for generations.
Okay, sure, but look closer. What do you see?
I see a beveled edge, conversion varnish, and a striking leg design.
I see a dining room table that's optionizable with as many leaves as you need to fit a family of 2 or 22.
When I look at the cane table, I see a world of possibilities.
Yeah, but look at the shape of the cane table.
It's boat-shaped.
Precisely.
You mean you get seasick just by looking at anything shaped like a boat?
Uh-oh, I'm feeling woozy.
Don't miss the boat. Come see the cane table and the Envy collection, starting at $18.38, paired with Encore side chairs for $5.50 each at Penny Mustard.
Showrooms in Milwaukee and Chicago.
PennyMustard.com.
Boat-shaped versions of what people want.
Penny Mustard Furnishing.
Citing a limited WTMJ News Time, 3:07. Real work job training before graduation. That's what Project Search gives to high school seniors with disabilities.
There are 30 programs in Wisconsin, including one at Mitchell International Airport for NPS students. 2018 alumni and airport gift shop employee Jordan Wagner tells WTMJ.
I was one of the first Project Search interns. The most important thing is to get the experience.
General manager at the airport, Yahona Pritchard, tells WTMJ.
The Project Search interns have been an integral piece of our puzzle here at the Milwaukee Airport, especially after the pandemic. The acceptance and the inclusiveness and the culture that we've created, there's no way that we would have been able to do all of this without Project Search.
Julian Johnson, WTMJ News.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. After sweeping the Cards, the Brewers' 7-game road trip continues tonight in Pittsburgh with the first of 4 against a Pirates team that has dropped 6 straight. Coverage begins at 5:05 on WTMJ. The Bucks own a 1-zip series lead over the Pacers in their best-of-7 playoff series. Tuesday night is when the next game will take place, and it's draft week in the NFL. The Packers own 5 picks in the first 100, including number 25 overall in Thursday's first round.
Citing a limited WTMJ News Time, 3:09.
Creative Planning presents Rethink Your Money with John Hagenson, Saturday afternoon at 1. At Creative Planning, we custom tailor your portfolio to help you achieve your ideal financial future. You'll see how our wealth managers work with in-house CPAs and attorneys to ensure your money is working as hard as it can for you. Why not give your wealth a second look? Visit creativeplanning.com. That's creativeplanning.com.
Wisconsin's Morning News.
Even if you want to say that's how it should be, that isn't how it is.
Listen to Vince Vetrano every weekday starting at 6 a.m.
You know it's going to be looked at. You know it's going to be scrutinized. You know these news agencies don't just hand stuff out then that you handed to them. They're not a conduit. It is important when you talk about our photos being doctored up and handed out to the media and what the media responsibility is for reviewing their authenticity before spitting them out to their other subsidiaries.
On Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
We'll check in with Debbie coming up in just a couple of minutes here. Welcome to the show. It's Monday. How was the weekend?
It's good. That really caught me off guard. I'm like, where's Deb?
We caught you off guard.
It's pretty quiet out there right now. Let's get to the things that we're tracking today. What are we chasing down?
This is the 3 at 3 on Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
All right, what's first?
Bad frozen fruit.
Yeah, this is kind of scary, actually, because a lot of people use frozen fruit, smoothies, and in baking, and on their cereal. Well, guess what? The USDA says that some frozen fruits has big levels of pesticides. Top of the list, strawberries, frozen strawberries. It says that some of them have a lot of pesticides and they have other things that just are not good. This is what really got me. It said that even frozen fruit labeled as organic has a lot of pesticides in it. So much for organic. If there's
Fake organic.
Yeah, exactly. There is good news, though. The USDA says that only 20% of the produce tested by the USDA had red flags enough for concern. So even if there are traces, they're saying, now they say only 20%. That's kind of a high number.
I mean, I don't wash off frozen food.
No, me either. Not frozen. Not at all. Guess I need to start. All right, what's up next?
The first honor flight in the books.
Yes, the first one was on Saturday, and it was absolutely fantastic. We flew 115 local veterans and their guardians, 8 Korean War vets, 109 from the Vietnam War. A Purple Heart recipient was on the flight, members of Vietnam helicopter crews, infantry soldiers who experienced heavy combat. I met one of them at the Vietnam Wall. He was there looking for the names of his buddies. 9,952 local veterans have been flown on Stars and Stripes honor flights since its inception in 2008.
Fantastic.
You're going to meet one of these. I mentioned helicopter crews. I got to know a guy who was a door gunner on a helicopter in Vietnam. I sat down and talked with him. You'll hear that conversation coming up at 4:35. And what's the third thing?
Awesome. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
All right, so the nominees are out for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Every year, the thing that jumps out to me is there are names on there that it's like, oh my gosh, are you serious that they're not already in there? These guys got in. Do you recognize this?
What is it?
Jukebox Hero.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Foreigner got in. So Foreigner got in, and a bunch of others got in as well. Mary J. Blige.
My
Dave
share.
Matthews.
My share.
Yeah. Now, this is really good. Sam, this is going to be really bad radio because now I'm going to try to play this. I think I have to pot this one down,
Or
right?
stop it, right?
Okay. Now, if I try to play Share.
It's not as easy as it looks.
No, don't
as
try
it
this.
sounds.
Don't try this at home, folks.
Yes.
There! We got Cher. Are you a Cher fan?
Love Cher.
Yeah, she got in. She finally got in. Ozzy Osbourne got in. A Tribe Called Quest got in. Peter Frampton got in. It's hard to get in. Listen to some of these names that did not get in that were nominated just this year. Sinead O'Connor, Lenny Kravitz, Mariah Carey was up this year and didn't get in.
Really?
To be eligible, you have to have released your first album 25 years prior to the year of nominations. You have to have been around a long time.
Cher certainly has.
She has, so congratulations, everybody. It is 3:14. We check in with Debbie up next on WTMJ. When we're out in your town, come say hi to us as we broadcast live from the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio.
Anytime you hear us when we're out on the road, you can find us live from our brand new mobile studio.
Whether it be Summerfest, EAA, Opening Day, Air and Water Show,
wherever we may be, you can see us on the radio, live from the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
Wisconsin's radio station.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
WTMJ.
Guthrie and Fry water conditioning, because better water makes a big difference. Guthrie and Fry, they protect the water in my house. I've got their water softener right down the basement. They even bring the salt in and take care of it for me. I've got an RO system. It's a little tiny thing that you put on your sink. Underneath, you don't even see it, and it means that the water coming into our house is crisp, clean, and clear. Friendly, convenient, budget-conscious. It's Guthrie and Fry. Quality products and services at a fair price from a local company you can trust. It's Guthrie and Fry. I know Rob and Sue, the owners. They're generous in the local community, and they're teams of people. They're going to treat your house like it's their own house when they're in it. They're in my house on a regular basis. Guthrie and Fry water conditioning, because better water really does make a big difference.
A Brewers Group outing is the best way to celebrate any special occasion. Birthday parties, anniversaries, or bachelor parties. You can count on the Brewers to host. Brewers account reps make your day at the ballpark a breeze. Plus, get set up with customizable tailgate spaces, seating blocks in your favorite spot at American Family Field, and much more. Start planning your group outing now at brewers.com/groups.
Need to hire quality candidates fast? You need Indeed. Our video interview tool makes it easy and effortless to meet with candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
All Brewers games are on sale now. Coming up, a weekend showdown with the Yankees, Friday, April 26th through Sunday, the 28th. Start the series with Friday's hockey night. Then take home a limited edition Brewers City Connect Tumbler Cup at the game on Saturday, the 27th. Presented by Quick Trip. Don't miss out on a marquee weekend of baseball. Grab your seats at brewers.com/tickets.
Traffic and weather. Hey, Debbie, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, John. Well, that northbound 43 accident at Locust is gone, but now we've got another issue. We've got one on 41 southbound at Burleigh on the left shoulder. So watch out for that. Right now, delays coming in from just south of Silver Spring. We still have delays on 43, by the way. Southbound's going to be slow from Hampton, pretty much all the way down to North Avenue. Northbound's going to be slow out of the Marquette, all the way up past Keefe. Westbound on 94, watch out for the delays coming out about 25th Street all the way to about Mitchell Boulevard. Hey, while you're out navigating the roads as quickly and safely as possible, if you do happen to see something we should know about, call the WTMJ Hall Volkswagen traffic tip line at 414-238-9329. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast for tonight. Isolated evening showers, a low of 51. Tomorrow, nice for most of the day. Scattered showers in the late afternoon, a high of 67. On Wednesday, sunny, cooler, breezy, a high of 51. On Thursday, mostly sunny, a high of 60. On Friday, rain and storms, a high of 60 degrees. Right now in Milwaukee, it is 62 degrees. Today's Earth Day. It's always on April 22nd, and it's just to demonstrate environmental protection and that sort of thing. I think it's interesting only because one of our U.S. senators from Wisconsin was really the guy behind this.
First I heard of it was when you said it in the morning meeting.
Yeah, Gaylord Nelson. He was a governor in Wisconsin, then he became a U.S. senator, and then in 1970, he took what had been kind of a celebration of things in the earth and called it Earth Day and said, you know what, we need to educate our young people about the importance of taking care of the earth. On the first Earth Day, more than 20 million people poured out onto the streets. That first Earth Day remains the largest single-day protest or gathering in human history.
Whoa.
Isn't that crazy? I just would have never thought of that. Gaylord Nelson was an ardent conservationalist and former governor, legislator, so Earth Day is kind of all because of him. I think this is kind of a cool little way to celebrate Earth Day. Most of the stuff has already happened now, like the cleanups and all of that stuff. Travel Wisconsin, our good partners, are reminding us that a good way to take in our part of the earth here in Wisconsin is to check out their Wisconsin Trail Report. If you go to travelwisconsin.com, they've got a cool interactive map. You can click on the map in different parts of the state, and it'll tell you the trail conditions. Like it's muddy, or it's not open, or things look great, new mulch was just put down. If you're clicking on a bike path, it'll tell you the surface of the trail. Crushed stone, asphalt, natural, and volunteers regularly update the site in real time.
Trails by me are muddy, which makes me wonder why there's a fire risk.
That's a great point. Shocking, right? Mm-hmm. How is there a fire risk? Well, we're going to get to the bottom of that. Meteorologist Brian Desnansky is with us up next after the break, right here on WTMJ. Couple of words here for my good friends at the Fox and Hounds restaurant. I was in the Fox and Hounds not that long ago. Buy one dinner, got one dinner free. I loved it. I actually had a big dinner-sized Caesar salad with fresh grilled chicken on it. It was fantastic. The steaks are good. The pasta is good. And Mother's Day is almost here. Take advantage of this. Take your mom to the brunch buffet at the historic Fox and Hounds restaurant. Mother's Day, one of the most special holidays of the year at the Fox and Hounds. The brunch buffet is everything your mom loves for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. All of it right there. And an entire room of delicious desserts. Kids and grandkids under 3 eat for free. Choose from over 100 wines to accent your Mother's Day brunch. The Fox and Hounds in the heart of the Kettle Moraine Forest. The setting is stunning. It's beautiful. Reservations are required. Tables fill quickly for Mother's Day, so reserve today at foxandhoundsrestaurant.com. The Fox and Hounds, just off Highway 167, 2 miles east of Holy Hill. The Spring Drive is beautiful. Mother's Day. serving from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. foxandhoundsrestaurant.com. It's a great place for Mom. It's the famous Fox and Hounds.
Hi, I'm attorney David Gruber. After an accident, you need a trusted winning team on your side. For more than 30 years, Gruber Law Offices has helped Wisconsin families get the results they deserve. If you've been injured, call our firm today for a free consultation. We're available 24/7. Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices, proud partner of your Milwaukee Brewers. One call, that's all.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
One of the best things about being in business for 25 years is having clients recommend AccuNet to their now adult children for help buying their first homes. That's how I connected with Dan and Allison, and let me tell you, they were fast learners. They quickly embraced our most powerful tool for winning offers, Appraisal Wiggle Room. Their first offer was $15,000 over asking and included a provision which AccuNet guaranteed they could afford to make, that they would still pay the higher offer price even if the appraised value came in up to $15,000 short. The result? Accepted offer versus several others on the very first try. And by the way, if the appraisal had come in $15,000 short, which it did not, Dan and Allison would have needed exactly $0 extra dollars at the closing table. If you think all mortgage lenders are the same, think again. Go with a multi-generation mortgage lender that has the tools and know-how to help you win. Click on the blue button today at accunet.com.
Another MVP has joined the roster at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin.
Dr. Ryan Stefanchek.
Board certified in sports medicine, physical medicine, and rehabilitation, Dr. Stefanchek specializes in non-operative treatment of the spine, chronic pain, all joints, all musculoskeletal problems, and more, emphasizing holistic care first, with a focus on diet, sleep, stress management, and social connections for a patient's well-being. At Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference.
So it's the weirdest thing. Opened up my email today, and there's an increased risk of fire. Didn't we just have the wettest or second wettest March or spring or something on record? It's like a marsh behind my house. I mean, there are ducks that are floating by my backyard.
I know. I had to wipe my dog's paws this morning after the walk.
Meteorologist Brian Niznansky is with us. Anything related to weather, he's got the answer. Niz, good afternoon. Thanks for making some time for us.
Hey.
Absolutely. Yeah, good afternoon, guys. I think you're onto something, John. I really am not too concerned about wildfire danger here in southern Wisconsin. However, with that said, this is a time of year that even though things that are greening up, during springtime and we've had a lot of rainfall, there's just stuff that is still dormant and dead, especially like on the roadway sides of the highways and stuff that, still is brown because it just died during winter, not necessarily brown because it's been so dry or anything. So that's where there's still some concern. And then you have days like today where obviously it's windy again and you have low humidity, temperatures well into the 60s, and you start to get a little bit higher fire danger. But right now, the last check with the DNR, we only are in the moderate range here for fire danger in southeastern Wisconsin. You get into northern Wisconsin where it's yet to green up. That's where the fire danger is either high or even very high.
And the wind gusts up to 30 miles an hour tonight. Brian, is that going to hamper a lot of things if there was a fire that it could spread?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So even if so whether it's a wildfire or a house fire or anything, yeah, the winds obviously play a role in that. So does the low humidity. So you have to worry about, skipping fire hazards and stuff like that. But as far as the weather goes, in spring, we have what we call our fire season. That's when we typically get our wildfires here in Wisconsin. But compare this spring to others, we're faring pretty good. So even though we have the windier and the drier conditions as far as humidity goes, we have had the recent rainfall, and that's helped things out quite a bit.
Yeah, so I just found it in my email. It was issued by the National Weather Service. It lists basically every county in southeast Wisconsin, and it says elevated fire weather conditions this afternoon, and it's a weather service alert. Is it primarily because of the wind that you and Julie have been talking about? Is it the wind that it makes this potentially dangerous?
Sure. I would say it's the wind, and it's also the low humidity. So a spark not only will travel more in the wind, but it will hold together a lot longer in a low humidity environment. Let's say not myself, but someone driving along and casually flicks a cigarette butt out his window. That cigarette has a much better chance of surviving and starting to burn up some brush when you have humidity low and also windy conditions.
It seems like, though, we could have this alert out. Maybe we do, and I don't pay attention. Every April and every May. Is it a regular thing?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I can even say last year we had definitely higher fire danger this time of year. It's really, you really got to get into where all that winter brush is pretty much gone or greened up and stuff. That's when you're completely, kind of out of the woods of our fire season. But comparing this year to other springs, we're faring pretty good. I'm not here to say don't pay attention to that National Weather Service alert, but it's just kind of typical conditions for this time of year that we have to be cautious about really anytime.
Niz, it's going to be a roller coaster this week. Going to be almost 70 tomorrow. Then it gets chilly. Then it warms back up in 2 or 3 days. What's going on with this week?
Yeah, so this week we have a frontal system, pretty strong area of low pressure to the northwest of us, but some dry air to work with. So it's not going to give us a widespread big soaking rainfall, but what it will give us is a small chance of showers this evening, and then a much better chance of some scattered showers and maybe a few thunderstorms heading into tomorrow afternoon. So pretty instability stuff. And then once that moves on, we'll start to tap into some colder air on Wednesday. Wednesday's highs, I think, are going to be in the 40s for most of Southeast. Yeah, so definitely taking a tumble there, but then we do work our way back up into the weekend. I am looking at what could be a pretty active weekend, though. Looking soggy Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Not going to rain the entire time, 3-day period, but multiple waves of potential heavier rainfall. So we'll have to watch that heading into the weekend if you have some outdoor plans.
All right, meteorologist Brian Niznansky. Always great to catch up. Thank you, Niz.
Yeah.
Thanks, Niz.
All right, guys. We'll see you later. Bye.
Time for the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Good start to the week. Everything in the green. The Dow was up 253 points on the day. The NASDAQ was up 169. The S&P was up 43 points. It's a great time for your retirement and investment strategy review from a fee-only fiduciary. Go to annexwealth.com. Click the Get Started button today. It's Annex Wealth Management.
Good news, bad news. The good news, inflation today is nothing like it's been in the past few years. The bad news, lower inflation doesn't mean lower prices. Inflation only records the size of price increases. When it goes down, prices are still higher than they were before. In fact, a recent study showed investors still consider inflation their single biggest threat to their investment and retirement plans. We don't blame you if you're concerned about how inflation might affect your legacy, your financial freedom, or your confidence. It's time to meet with the team at Annex Wealth Management for investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning. Annex is a fee-only fiduciary. We'll review what you own. We'll work together to build a plan that's right for you and your family. And we'll guide you on your way to achieving the kind of retirement you desire. Whatever's kickstarting your questions, market volatility, global unrest, an upcoming presidential election, or stubborn inflation, it's time to know the difference. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Click the Get Started button at annexwealth.com.
Welcome back to Ask Hasselus. I'm Weston. What's your question?
Why is abbreviation such a long word?
That, my friend, is one of life's unanswerable questions.
I mean, you'd think someone could make it shorter.
Oh, you mean like instead of saying buy one, get one, you can just say BOGO.
Yeah, kinda.
Through Monday at Hasselus Mattress, buy a new Sealy Posturepedic, Serta Perfect Sleeper, or Beauty Rest mattress, and we'll give you a free box spring or an equal amount off an adjustable base.
Or, in other words,
BOGO.
Right.
Plus, free next day delivery and employee-free showrooms.
You mean I don't have to deal with pushy salespeople?
No.
So I can try out all the mattresses.
Solo.
And through Monday, I can...
BOGO.
You're a man of few words. I like that.
Buy a new Beauty Rest, Sealy Posturepedic, or Serta Perfect Sleeper and get a free box spring or an equal amount off an adjustable base. Now through Monday at Hasselus Mattress. Find a self-service showroom near you or shop online at hasselus.com.
Traffic is sponsored by the Wisconsin State Fair. Wisconsin State Fair has $12 group tickets on sale now. Hurry, the sale ends April 30th. Visit wistatefair.com to save big for group tickets.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 3:30. I'm John Mercure. Your top story, the VP in the Badger State.
I'm Julia Fellow. A pizza empire expanding.
I'm Debbie Laziga, and we got more problems southbound on 43 just before Capitol Drive, just after Hampton. We've got the right lane blocked with a car. It's a crash. They're trying to hook it up onto a tow truck right now, so do be prepared. It's going to be a bit of a tight squeeze. Also, a little bit further on south at North Avenue, we've got the right lane blocked with a broken down vehicle. Northbound backed up out of the Marquette all the way up to Keefe, and then one more on 4th and southbound right at Burleigh off on the left shoulder. We've got yet another crash, and that is stretching out back past Silver Spring, almost back to Appleton Avenue. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight there's isolated showers possible. The low will be 51. Wind gusts up to 30 miles an hour. Tomorrow partly cloudy, scattered afternoon showers and storms, breezy with a high of 67. Then the temps fall tomorrow night. The current temperature is 67 degrees in Milwaukee.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, major changes coming to Wisconsin's nursing homes. The Biden administration putting new rules in place to set minimum staffing levels and improve pay for workers at federally funded nursing homes. Vice President Kamala Harris making the announcement in La Crosse today. She says it'll be a major improvement for residents and workers alike.
Which means fewer ER visits, potentially, more independence for families. It's going to mean peace of mind in terms of your loved one being taken care of. And for care workers, it's going to be more time with their patients, less burnout, and lower turnover.
4 out of 5 nursing homes nationwide receive federal funds and will be affected by the new rules.
The Supreme Court will take up the legal fight over ghost gun kits that had been struck down by a lower court.
An appellate court had said that the gun control laws don't cover such kits, but the federal government has been arguing that it does.
Legal analyst Lori Levinson.
The regulation would subject these gun kits to the same requirements as fully assembled firearms, meaning that the dealers would have to include serial numbers, background checks, and keep records of the transactions.
The government argues that otherwise,
anyone could go online and buy a kit, and in a matter of minutes, have a fully functional gun.
Stacey Lynn, CBS News, the White House.
A top Israeli official has resigned over his failure to prevent the October 7th terror attack. Reporter Linda Gradstein has more from Jerusalem.
Aharon Haliva said that as the head of military intelligence, he bears responsibility for the failure of intelligence that led to Hamas being able to take over about 20 Israeli communities and take 240 Israelis hostage. He is the first senior official to resign since the war between Israel and Hamas began more than 6 months ago.
With Passover beginning at sundown, there's extra security on some college campuses because of possible anti-Semitism.
I'm Peter King. At New York's Columbia University,
if you want to stand against terrorism,
some Jewish students say they've felt threatened during the 6th straight day of protests against Israel. But, says NYPD Deputy Commissioner Tariq Shepard,
there's been no credible threats to any particular group or individual.
Columbia classes today are virtual, and there's extra security at buildings there. In New Haven, Connecticut, protesters say Yale University
has no place funding a war machine.
Pro-Palestinian demonstrators have set up camps at Columbia, Yale, and other campuses from Boston to Chapel Hill. Peter King, CBS News.
Palermo's Pizza will expand operations and production with a new facility in Milwaukee.
Palermo's will build a new 200,000 square foot facility in West Milwaukee, roughly 3 miles from its headquarters off Canal Street, just east of American Family Field. Palermo's CEO Giacomo Faluca expects the new facility to bring roughly 50 skilled labor jobs to the area. The facility will be Palermo's third. Their second facility opened in Jefferson about a year ago. Construction is scheduled to begin in August of this year and wrap up in June of 2025. Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
Earth Day is here, and it's easy to celebrate in Milwaukee.
Director of Conservation and Environmental Science at UW-Milwaukee, Dr. Christian Young, says Earth Day has strong ties to Wisconsin.
Gaylord Nelson, who helped to found Earth Day, people like Aldo Leopold and John Muir, who were shaped by Wisconsin.
And in some ways, Earth Day has been observed longer than we can imagine.
The tribes that have been here in Wisconsin, what we now call Wisconsin, for longer than our recorded history.
Jack Grau, WTMJ News.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All sports desk. After sweeping the Cardinals in St. Louis, the Brewers' 7-game road trip continues tonight in Pittsburgh with the first of 4 against a Pirates team that has dropped 6 straight. Coverage of tonight's game begins at 5:05 on WTMJ. The Bucks own a 1-0 series lead over the Pacers in their best-of-7 playoff series. Giannis not expected to play in Game 2 Tuesday due to a calf strain. And it's draft week in the NFL. The Packers own 5 picks in the first 100, including number 25 overall in Thursday's first round.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 3:36.
Sponsored by Grandview Homes, the name you know, the name you trust. GrandviewHomes.com.
We asked people why they sold their homes to Grandview Homes instead of using a real estate agent.
Everything they say in their ads is true and then some. Very fair price, no real estate agent fees or closing costs. They even switched the utilities out of your name.
Within weeks, we had closed and couldn't be happier.
Whether you have a hard-to-sell home, want a stress-free sale, or simply need to sell your home fast, Grandview Homes is the name you know and the name you can trust. Visit GrandviewHomes.com to discover the easiest and fastest way to sell a home.
Here's to sweet summer days together with friends and family in Wisconsin. To discovering magic in every moment.
Hey, Mom, over here.
And to reconnecting through a world filled with wonder.
Wow.
Here's to supper club celebrations and dancing until the sun goes down. Here's to those who Wisconsin. Plan your summer getaway at travelwisconsin.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
You hear him on ESPN Milwaukee, 101.7 The Truth, WTMJ, and he's a Bucks in-game host. He is our friend, Jason Smith. How you doing?
I'm doing absolutely fantastic. How about you, John? How about you, Julie?
Good. How was the energy yesterday at the game?
It was absolutely amazing. It was palpable. You felt it. It felt like a finals game. It felt, this is what we've been waiting for. This is the reason why we got Dame. This is the reason why it's sad to say we got rid of our hero, Drew, our hometown hero, Drew. But this is why we had to. Drew wouldn't give, well, I can't say he wouldn't, but we don't expect Drew to give us 35 points in the first half to carry us in this game without Giannis. Now, if we can buy more time, yet let Giannis heal, we can let Giannis heal that calf, and Chris Middleton can come give us 20 points, give us the 10 rebounds. Bobby Portis stepping up.
Big.
Dame carried us throughout that first half. The second half, he didn't score as much. They defended him differently.
But Chris stepped up. He filled the void.
Man, we needed Chris. He stepped up. And listen, I'm waiting for game 2. Let's see
like
where we
I
take
said,
it.
I hadn't heard a lot about Chris with a lot of highlights that we've done so far this season.
And he stepped up big time. This is why he is a multiple-time All-Star. He used to be one of the best shooting guards in the NBA, top 5, no doubt. So if he can bring that back with the combination of Dame doing what I expect the same thing from Dame next game. I don't know about 35 and 1/2, but I expect a big game.
So I'm wondering about Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers got kind of roughed up the last couple of months. People said, man, he didn't even finish 500. The other guy had a better record. Is this the time of year we brought Doc in for to manage the postseason, to manage the stars, to when the games, it's win or go home now? Is this Doc time?
Yeah, we're talking about Adrian Griffin, who was a first-time head coach, never coached in the playoffs and the finals before, versus a NBA champion who won a 2008 NBA title. Now, we do have questions about Doc because he's blown the most 3-1 leads in playoff history, but no matter what, he's a Hall of Fame coach. He's a championship coach, so this is what we got him for. We held Indiana to their lowest scoring game of the season, and they're one of the best offensive teams in the league.
So aside from what happened on the court, X's and O's basketball, what was the coolest thing you saw at the game yesterday? What was the most fun?
Man, honestly, dude, it was the sea of people. It was insane. Like, it was just an ocean. Like, all of the people wearing the same color shirts, and it felt so big. Like, because it's Dame's first playoff game here.
Yeah.
And obviously, the last couple months, like you said, we've been beating up Doc and we've been beating up the team, even though we've stayed, top 4 in the East the whole season. But it was just so good to see the excitement and feel the excitement and see the fans come. It was more packed yesterday than probably any regular season game, man. It was amazing.
Do you think the fan base was around Damien and it helped him.
Oh, yeah. We was rallying around Damien. Oh, my goodness. If you felt every single time Dame touched the ball, if he looked at the crowd, if he made any movement, it was like Dame time. We all had our hands up, our wrists up, pointing to our wrist. I'm just saying.
What was Deer District like?
Deer District was, I mean, come on now. It's Deer District. It's a Deer District in the playoffs. The weather wasn't bad. You know it was packed. There was a lot of fans out there. I just can't wait to keep going. This is why we need to go to the finals, because I need more of this. And we need to rehash, we need to relive what we felt in 2021, and I think it's coming.
I agree. It brings us together.
It brings us
in
together.
a way that I don't think anything else can.
It felt good today. Like, it felt like after the Packers win a big game on a Sunday, it's that feeling you come in the office and everybody's hopping.
Everybody's happy. And it's because it's the fashion in which we won. We destroyed them. Like, let's just put it like that. Like, we absolutely destroyed them. So I just can't wait to the next game to take this to another level.
So you produce for Dr. Ken. How's our boy Dr. Ken doing over there?
Oh, it's
you keeping him in line?
It's amazing. I love working with Dr. Ken because just his personality, and I love the fact that he brands himself as a contrarian. He always gets you thinking the opposite way, no matter what it is. I can tell him something that he believes, but he's gonna challenge me, you know, to make me think of it in a different way. And you know what I'm saying? And that's what you want out of radio host. That's what you want out of teachers. Like, he is a teacher, actually. He's actually a professor, right? So that
Dr.
makes sense.
Ken.
Exactly. So that makes sense.
He is Jason Smith. Always good when you stop by, Jason. Thanks for the perspective. I like your energy.
Oh, no, thank you.
Oh, my God. Look at who's...
Hey, that's Dr. Ken.
We
were just talking about Dr. Ken showing up outside the window. He didn't even know that.
There you go. Standing right outside the window, listening to everything.
Wow.
That's hilarious. That scared me for a second, standing out there.
Looked up. What?
Looks like Dr. Ken. Jason, have a good rest of the day.
All right, you too. Thank you,
Industry 42 at WTMJ. Inside the Trump trial, it's kind of an interesting day today. It wasn't even a full day, and we're going to dive into it straight ahead with Julius Kim, local defense attorney. That's up next.
Tony Drake here from Drake & Associates. Big news. Our retirement-ready radio show is moving to a new time slot. Catch us at noon every Saturday. At Drake & Associates, we craft tailor-made plans that not only meet your financial needs, but align seamlessly with your unique lifestyle. Tune in at noon on Saturdays and get retirement ready.
Drake & Associates, LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates, LLC does not provide legal or tax advice.
John Mercure here for Sit Mean Sit Dog Training. I've been working with these guys for more than a year, and my dogs are better dogs. I was leery at first. I was like, really, I'm going to pay somebody money to teach me how to train my dog? I did, and it worked. I didn't know what I didn't know, and Bella and Baxter are better behaved now. Matt and his teams at Sit Mean Sit, they're the best. They've got the best techniques. They've got the best tools. Their trainers are top tier. You can have a happy, confident, obedient dog. It's Sit Mean Sit Dog Training. Do what we did. Start with a free consultation at Sit Mean Sit Dog Training. You meet the folks in there. They meet your dogs. Then you go for a few times, and it's just a better house. Ours is. It's Sit Mean Sit Dog Training.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
Susan Hiller from Hiller Ford here with news for anyone thinking about buying a new Ford in the near future. You may want to make the move right now because Hiller Ford has some exceptional deals this month. Hiller is now offering 0% financing on all remaining 2023 Ford Bronco Sports, Explorers, Mustang Mach-E's, and 2024 Edges. This is a great time to buy from Hiller Ford. Stop in today, check out all the money-saving deals, and find out why so many people love to buy from Hiller Ford.
Vince Vitrano for Absolute Comfort HVAC and Electrical. I'm joined by Nicole. She and her husband Brent own the company. Nicole, why should folks call you guys?
Because we treat your home like ours. That means honest and high quality work. We want you to be a part of our family. We're there for your emergencies when you need it, but most important to us is building a long-term relationship for all of your HVAC and electrical needs.
Absolute Comfort HVAC and Electrical, 262-664-9284, yourcomfortguys.com.
Susan Hiller from Hiller Ford, back with another reason to buy your next Ford from Hiller Ford. This month, Hiller is offering 1.9% 66-month FlexBuy financing on all 2023 F-150s. This includes factory bonus cash of $3,000. Now that's a great deal. And just for coming in for a test drive, you get Girl Scout cookies. Stop in today, check out all the great deals, get some cookies, and find out why so many people love to buy from Hiller Ford.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Social Security benefits denied? Call Tayback for the payback. Unable to work due to health problems? Let Tayback help you get approved for the Social Security benefits you're entitled to. Call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
Traffic and weather. Let's get a look at your roads with Debbie Lazaga.
All right, Julia, we've got an issue on southbound 43 just south of Silver Spring. The right lane is blocked right now as they're trying to get a car that looks like it went perpendicular into the wall on the right. They're trying to get that onto a flatbed tow truck. So that's going to be there for a while, that right lane blocked. So it's going to be a slow one heading past that point. But it stays heavy all the way down to North Avenue. And then again, right through the Marquette. Northbound's going to be backed up from before Fond du Lac Avenue up past Keith. Southbound on 41, an accident on the left shoulder at Burleigh is causing some problems. Delays all the way back to Appleton Avenue. And one other accident on westbound 94 just at the end of the on-ramp from Highway F to westbound. A few cars and a squad off on the right shoulder. So luckily, traffic seems to be getting past that one without too much of a problem. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, isolated showers are possible with a low of 51. Wind gusts up to 30 miles an hour. Tomorrow's going to be partly cloudy, a possible of scattered rain and storms, and it's going to be a high of 67 degrees. Then the temperatures plummet tomorrow night. Wednesday, mostly sunny, cooler and breezy. The high will be 44 at the lake, 51 inland. Thursday, there's going to be some frost possible in the morning. Mostly sunny the rest of the day. The high will be 53 at the lake, 60 inland. Friday, a chance of rain. It's going to be breezy with a high of 60. Right now, it's 67 degrees in Milwaukee.
Jury was seated last week. Today was the first day of the Trump criminal trial outside of jury selection. Opening statements took place today, and one witness was on the stand for a short period of time. We are joined by Julius Kim and Lavoie, one of the top criminal defense firms in Southeast Wisconsin. Julius, thank you so much for making some time for us.
My pleasure.
I want to ask you a general question about opening statements. This is going to be a long trial. Jurors will be asked to absorb a lot, take note of a lot, retain a lot. With all that as a precursor, how important are opening statements?
Opening statements are extremely important in any trial, but this trial in particular is such a complex trial. There's over 30 counts that are involved here. I thought that opening statements here were particularly important so that both sides can kind of map out exactly what they anticipate the evidence is going to show and kind of provide a roadmap and an outline for the jurors as to what they can expect and follow along as this trial gets into some more of the tedious parts of it.
How did they do? Did you have a chance to take any of it in?
Yeah, there's no cameras or right. There's no live feed, but I did follow along for a good portion of the opening statements via, the reporters are reporting live to broadcast anchors, et cetera. And I thought that both sides did a really nice job, quite frankly. The prosecution laid out, kind of the nuts and bolts of what this case is all about, because a lot of this involves business transactions, and so the prosecutors have to kind of show why this failure in keeping accurate books amounts to fraud. And the defense, they also have to make sure that they have the jurors understand why it is that Donald Trump's not guilty of the allegations against him. And quite frankly, it was important for the defense attorneys to make sure that the jurors knew that Donald Trump, in their opinion, was not just not guilty, but innocent of any wrongdoing here.
How did David Pecker do?
Well, he was only on the stand for about 20 to 30 minutes today, and a lot of the questions that were asked of him today were mostly foundational. It was just the state basically kind of building him up, kind of telling the jurors who he is and why he's a significant person in this particular situation. He was the person that has an incredible amount of experience in figuring out exactly what types of stories are sensationalized and what types of stories can really damage someone's reputation. So right now, I think that he seems to be doing fine on the stand from both sides. I noticed that there was no real interaction between Mr. Pecker and Donald Trump reported when he took the stand, but I think that the state is just laying the foundation to show why he's such an important figure here.
That's interesting. Do you think that Pecker took a turn against Trump with this, and now he is basically testifying for the prosecution?
Yeah, I mean, he was given immunity to testify by the feds in this particular situation. So, and all sides have indicated that David Pecker and Michael Cohen and Donald Trump have not had any communication since all of this kind of blew up. So, whether there's bad blood between them, I don't know. It's hard to say. But certainly it's got to be an awkward moment, right, for Donald Trump to be looking at a person that he had business dealings with for a long time, not just dealings that they dealt together with way before the 2016 election.
So Pecker was granted immunity, as you mentioned, in exchange for his testimony. And the parent company, the company that owns the National Enquirer, signed a non-prosecution agreement with prosecutors, so they will not be held liable. Is that problematic when one of the state's key witnesses has that as part of his resume walking into court?
Yeah, it can be. Certainly the defense is going to try and make hay of it. But in this particular case, with this particular set of facts, I don't think it's going to be as problematic as we might see immunity grants in other cases. If there was a situation where there was a shooting and one of the people that were the primary suspects was granted immunity and wouldn't be charged with either a homicide or attempted homicide, that would be more problematic, I think. But in this situation, I think the jurors can kind of see the big picture here, that what the prosecutors really needed to get to David Pecker in order to kind of demonstrate exactly what happened here, because everyone's keeping their mouth shut. So I think that while it's always risky to put someone who is given immunity on the stand, I think that the jurors would be more forgiving in this particular case.
Julius Kim is with us. So, Julius, I want to ask you about demeanor of defendant. So during much of the prosecutor's opening statement, they detailed out the alleged affair with Stormy Daniels. They detailed out Donald Trump boasting about how he treated women. And he appeared, according to the reports, very uncomfortable. His shoulders lurched forward at points. His brow was deeply furrowed. He shook his head during these really difficult things for him to hear. How do you coach a defendant, and how much does that play into what the jury decides ultimately?
Yeah, I think that, as a defense attorney, you just have to make sure that you are preparing not only other witnesses in terms of how to testify, not what to say, but how to testify, because impressions matter, right? And one of the most important people that you need to kind of prepare is your own client, not because they are going to be taking the stand necessarily, but because the jurors are constantly watching him or her as they're sitting throughout that trial. And so clearly, even though you mentioned that Donald Trump seemed pretty uncomfortable in the courtroom when they were talking about these uncomfortable things, I think that he was prepped by his attorneys, because he wasn't doing some of the more characteristics, eye rolls and sneers and snickers and that type of thing. He seemed more subdued in court today. And so to me, it seems like his lawyers did mention to him that, hey, you need to make sure you make a good impression on these jurors, because if you leave a bad impression, they could convict you just for that alone.
Have you ever had somebody you represented where you were pretty convinced the facts were on your side and the primary reason that you didn't win was that the defendant was not likable?
Yeah, actually I have. And, unfortunately in these situations, in this particular case, really we had no choice but to put a client on the stand, because they're claiming self-defense. And really the only way you can do that is to put someone up on the stand and explain exactly why they did what they did. But it's so hard to control someone's natural demeanor when they're on the stand. And no matter how much coaching, no matter how much advising you could do, to someone, after a few moments on the stand, some of that kind of melts away as emotions take over and as kind of the raw situation kind of unfolds in front of the jury. So unfortunately that happens, and sometimes, despite your best efforts, a particular witness or even a client can sink themselves.
Do you think that Trump will take the stand?
You know what? I do. And I do in this particular case because, one of the things that he has to do is establish kind of a plausible deniability here. Hey, I didn't know what was going on. This is all, I was too busy campaigning, and these, what do I know in terms of all of this? And I think that he's going to want to do that and almost needs to do that. But I also think that he knows that he just has to convince one juror to vote not guilty in order to not necessarily get an acquittal, but at least a hung jury. And then that kind of takes him out of the danger zone, at least before the fall elections. And so I think just, kind of knowing Trump and the way he thinks that he might be able to convince a jury that he didn't know that any of this stuff was going on or why these payments were being made.
An alternate juror had an emergency dental appointment. That's why things ended earlier today. Can it be frustrating if you're on a roll and that happens? And the other side, can it be a godsend if things aren't going your way and you need to slam stop halfway through the day?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, one of the things that makes litigation kind of a tough aspect of the law is that you got to be good on your toes. And so you have to be prepared for anything. Sometimes it's a juror that has emergency dental surgery. Sometimes it's a witness that says something on the stand that you didn't expect. Crazier things have happened, and criminal law dealing with human beings and human life and human interactions and jurors, you just have to kind of roll with the punches when those things happen. And so you just have to think on your feet and try and make the most of the situation.
He's the best. Renowned defense attorney Julius Kim. Great perspective, Julius. Thank you so much for making some time for us.
Amazing.
My pleasure. Have a great day. Thank you.
It is 3:56. Rich Kirchland is at the Milwaukee Business Journal.
Frozen pizza maker Palermo Villa plans to expand production by constructing a 200,000 square foot facility in West Milwaukee on the former Freighter Maltz site. The new plant will hire 50 employees and open in 2025. Drug maker Eli Lilly reaches an agreement to buy a Pleasant Prairie pharmaceutical plant from Nexus Pharmaceuticals. Eli Lilly eyes a 2025 start date for manufacturing. A new CEO for the parent company of Case IH in Racine, Scott Wines, surprises analysts by resigning, and CNH Industrial promotes Garrett Marks from a sister company as Wines' replacement. I'm Rich Kirchen with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Traffic is brought to you by James Imaging Systems, your local document imaging partner. Visit jamesimaging.com.
Nelnet Incorporated has document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Facilities Coordinator Sunday Heidemann, local and partner ring true for you. Why?
They become your friend. They are easy to work with. You get to know them on a personal level, and they're very outgoing.
James Imaging Systems, helping local businesses do business better.
Being a partner, we can collaborate with each other, and we can make the best needs and outcome for our company.
James Imaging Systems, better technology, great people.
Makes my job so much easier that I can contact the people that know the machines, and I know I'm going to be taken care of.
Sunday, anything to say about James Imaging Systems to others?
They're a great team to work with.
Document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems. Call 262-781-7700. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
Annex Wealth Management. Your retirement matters. Put it in the hands of people who know what they're doing. When it comes to your investment and retirement planning, a simple checklist might help. Is your financial advisor a fiduciary? How are they at tax planning? What about estate planning? Can they help make sure your legacy plan follows your wishes? Or are they just trying to sell you something? There's a real difference between financial advisors. That's why Annex Wealth Management urges you to know the difference. Annex is local, independent, and part of the community. And that matters. Their investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning teams are based right here in Southeast Wisconsin. You can find out more about Annex every Saturday morning at 10 right here on WTMJ. There's a reason Money Talk, the Annex Wealth Management Show, is Wisconsin's longest-running financial radio show. Visit annexwealth.com. We did that years ago, and click the Get Started button. We did that too. Schedule your own appointment today. That's Annex Wealth Management. Locations throughout Southeast Wisconsin, Northern Illinois, Florida are always as close as your computer. Know the difference with Annex.
Whether you're seeking endless sunshine, ancient landmarks, or scenic views, Fox World Travel can take you there. We are proud to partner with outstanding cruise companies, including Holland America, Princess Cruises, Celebrity, and Royal Caribbean, to bring you unbeatable rates for your next cruise. Unleash your inner adventurer and book your dream cruise by visiting foxworldtravel.com or calling us at 866-GO-FOX-GO. Enjoy the freedom of unpacking once and set sail for adventure.
A buck doesn't buy much unless you're spending it at Griffin. For just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, $1 over our cost, free tire repair, and lifetime rotation. We'll even show you the invoice to prove it. Our only requirements is we put them on for you. Buy one or a whole set. The dollar deal from Griffin, Milwaukee, Waukesha, Fort Atkinson, and Jefferson. Griffin, the buck stops here, but the deals on tires don't. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
Traffic is sponsored by Annex Wealth Management. It's time to know the difference, and Annex Wealth Management is ready to help with investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning as a fee-only fiduciary partner. AnnexWealth.com. Click the Get Started button.
The pitch. Hit to left. Deep. Warning track. At the wall. And it is gone. Jackson Chourio.
The Brewers are out east in Pittsburgh to take on the Pirates of the Allegheny River. Coverage of Game 1 begins tonight at 5:05 on your home of the Milwaukee Brewers. News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 4:01. I'm John Mercure. This is Wisconsin's Afternoon News. Your top story, entering a plea in a murder case.
I'm Julia Fellow. Time running out for a popular app.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. Southbound on 43, right lane still blocked just south of Silver Spring with a crash being put onto a tow truck. So be careful as you're making your way past that. It's going to be a bit of a tight squeeze. And that tight squeeze continues all the way down past Locust. We got the northbound side backing up from Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up to Keefe. Southbound on 41, still heavy from Appleton Avenue all the way down past Capitol Drive. Earlier issue at Burleigh has been cleared out of the way. Still see some delays coming out of the Marquette interchange on westbound 94 all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, an isolated evening shower is possible, a low of 51. Tomorrow, rain in the afternoon, a high of 67. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, the man accused of murdering Sade Robinson appearing in court today, wearing a Milwaukee County Jail orange jumpsuit and his hair in a man bun. Maxwell Anderson waived his right to a preliminary hearing this afternoon. His attorney, Anthony Cotton, entered a not guilty plea. Anderson accused of first-degree intentional homicide, mutilating a corpse, and arson of Robinson's car after authorities found multiple severed body parts belonging to Robinson scattered across Milwaukee County.
Pink ribbons filled Warner Park this weekend as community members began creating a memorial for Sade Robinson. Barbara Jones tells TMJ4 News she wants to commemorate the bright personality that was lost.
Really came out to not only memorialize the memory of Sade, but to bring some good spirits and beauty to a place that Anderson turned so ugly.
The investigation into Robinson's death continues.
Relief for overworked caregivers at nursing homes. That's the goal of new federal rules announced by Vice President Kamala Harris in La Crosse today. Lisa Briggs is a certified nursing assistant at Jewish Home and Care Center in Milwaukee. She says having more staff will allow them to better connect with residents.
They can get some companions, too, while we taking care of them. Because some residents like you to sit in there, talk to them, be with them and stuff like that. So it'll be great to have that change come.
The new rules will set staffing minimums for federally funded nursing homes.
TikTok's time is closer to being up. The bill effectively to ban the app in the U.S. now heads to the Senate after it passed the House this weekend.
The bill that effectively bans TikTok if its Chinese owner ByteDance does not sell the app was wrapped into the bill sending aid to Ukraine, Israel, and Taiwan.
I think it's the worst possible thing for businesses and for creators.
Jennifer Gay is one of those creators on the app.
It's about the human connection and meeting people and doing things.
The White House says the TikTok bill is about national security and protecting data of Americans. Perry Russum, ABC News, Washington.
Spring is here, bringing sunshine and scams. Wisconsin seeing a rise in scam phone calls saying your power is getting cut off. Michelle Reinen with the Department of Agriculture, Trade, and Consumer Protection tells Wisconsin's Weekend Morning News the timing isn't a coincidence. The actual winter moratorium on power shutoffs ended on April 15th.
We did predict an increase when April started of these scammers coming to try and confuse consumers as to when that date was, as well as knowing that when that date passes, utility companies could legitimately reach out.
Reinen says utility companies will never reach out by phone. If there's a potential shutoff, it will always be in writing.
Being differently able doesn't mean unemployable. MPS student interns with disabilities gave Wisconsin state legislators a tour of their workplace.
Project Search puts high school seniors with disabilities into 3 10-week internship programs to transition them into the workforce. Project Search instructor Karina Tweedall tells WTMJ.
Our interns stay here for the full day where they receive a combination of vocational training. I teach them a class together with our Goodwill Skills trainers.
State Senator Chris Larson tells WTMJ.
It's a very good diplomatic way to show off Milwaukee, to make sure that we're a very inclusive city. That is something that people see right when they get to Milwaukee is pretty awesome.
From Mitchell International Airport, Julian Johnson, WTMJ News.
Coming up, break out that accordion.
Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 4:05.
This report is sponsored by Siding Unlimited. It's siding and a whole lot more. SidingUnlimited.com.
Get out of the house with authority. And the outside authorities are Siding Unlimited, defending and beautifying your house, and Outdoor Living Unlimited, making your yard into living space. They share the same unique outside-in showroom near Gerke's Corners. That's where you want to be at their open house this Saturday, the 27th, from 8 to 1. Siding Unlimited is the best area installer of siding, of course, but also windows, doors, roofing, and decks. Outdoor Living Unlimited turns yards into patios and decks, fire pits, pavers, retaining walls, even screen rooms, outdoor kitchens, and swimming pools. Bring your ideas, motivation, and questions to the product reps at the open house and meet the Siding Unlimited and Outdoor Living Unlimited teams. Get fired up at sidingunlimited.com and outdoorlivingunlimited.com, and then get to the open house this Saturday, the 27th, from 8 to 1.
Wholesale mulch? No problem. We deliver to residential or wholesale accounts, and we can supply you with whatever volume of the highest quality mulch you need. Nobody around here has more mulch than Erickson's. We'll deliver you a 1-yard pickup truck load all the way up to 100 yards in a walking floor trailer. And if you just need a little bit, swing by and we'll fill up a 5-gallon bucket or two. It's the best mulch you'll find. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential. Visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection. Our decorative stone is available by the handful for pickup, all the way up to 24-ton load deliveries. And our stone is superlative. We scour the countryside, countrywide, from Arizona to the Carolinas. We search pretty much the whole U.S. of A. to find you easily the best stone selection in southeastern Wisconsin. See a rainbow of decorative stone colors to match any exterior decor. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection.
Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 4:08.
Sunday marked the 30th anniversary of polka being Wisconsin's official state dance. Host of Polka Time, Stacey Harborough, also known as DJ Shotsky, tells Spanning the State why she believes polka remains so popular.
It's really happy music, and it's music for multiple generations, young and old. Everybody's welcome when a polka band is playing. You know, it doesn't matter if you can dance or not. It's just happy music for the whole community.
Former Governor Tommy Thompson signed the bill, making polka official.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law offices. One call, that's all. Sports Desk. The Brewers in Pittsburgh tonight. Coverage of tonight's game begins at 5:05 on WTMJ. And it's Bucks tomorrow. Giannis not expected to play. Plus, it's draft week in the NFL. The Packers own 5 picks in the first 100, including number 25 overall in Thursday's first round.
Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 4:09.
This report sponsored by Mr. Holland's Heating and Air Conditioning. Visit MrHollandsHeatingandAir.com.
Generac. Hi, this is Steve from Mr. Holland's Home Services. The powers that be claim that you need to hear that word 3 times in 60 seconds to get you interested in a brand new whole house backup generator. What we really should be saying is lightning, lightning, lightning. Because all it takes is an unwanted and untimely power outage to spark your interest in a backup generator. Mr. Holland's crew can hardwire your whole house generator directly into your home's electrical system. So when the power peters out, your charge is still churning and the lights are still burning. And with up to 24 months interest-free financing with approved credit, the cost isn't concerning. Call Mr. Holland's Home Services to schedule the installation of your brand new backup generator. 866-992-1717 or visit MrHollandsHomeservices.com. If you need more power, we can help.
Wisconsin's Afternoon News is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, John McCure and Julia Fellow.
Happy Monday. The Vice President in town today, and Kamala Harris announcing a minimum staffing mandate in nursing homes. But will we notice any differences here in Wisconsin?
Well, I looked into that, John, and the answer from Sam Brooks, Director of Public Policy at the National Consumer Voice for Quality Long-Term Care, says not really in Wisconsin. Here's why. The new rules call for staffing in nursing homes equivalent to 3.5 hours per resident per day. So they want to have more people with the residents at a time. The average in Wisconsin is already above that. It's 4 hours per resident a day. So Wisconsin's already on the average above that. The government said a majority of the country's roughly 15,000 nursing homes would have to add staff under this new regulation, though. The suggestion happened after a study by the Centers for Medicare or Medicaid Services. They recommended 4.1 hours. And that was in 2001.
Wow.
So we have been waiting for this for a long time.
Over 20 years.
Right. He says it would really put the fire under an already underperforming nursing home. It would put those underperforming nursing homes on notice. But there is a concern about waivers for some nursing home facilities that could happen right away, in particular nursing homes that are in rural areas.
So there could be a lot of Wisconsin residents, nursing home residents in rural areas that may not feel the effect of this staffing standard ever should some of these waivers apply. So we're eager to see if CMS listens to the comments of advocates and residents and families saying, no, treat all residents the same and, implement the standard as soon as possible.
What he does like is that this mandate requires a nurse to be on staff 24/7.
The current requirement is only 8 hours. Registered nurses play maybe the most important role in nursing homes when you're talking about care planning and evaluations. I mean, CNAs are the backbone, but RNs perform a lot of tasks that CNAs and LPNs can't. And the idea that only one needs to be present 8 hours a day was just, I think it shocks everyone.
So I looked at the Wisconsin law, John, and it shows that a registered nurse needs to be on duty at all times once it reaches more than 100 residents in a nursing home.
Okay. Yep.
So the belief in all of this is that what's paid out in Medicare and Medicaid will go back to paying employees to meet these requirements. And in turn, it could improve patient care because of those requirements. So it won't go into making a profit. It will go into putting more into hiring people. They also want to get the attention of people who need more help in these homes. This includes preventing bed sores. You know, that's a huge thing that can happen. And if someone's neglected, only seen maybe 3.5 hours
right.
or 4 hours.
They're not getting moved. They're not getting taken care of.
I know. And this is our most vulnerable population. You can think about it. The hope is that the employees will be paid better than just about $15 an hour, Brooks said, which will in turn improve patient care. He hopes that this will also lower the turnover rate, which is at 50% nationwide.
Wow.
Wisconsin higher. Wisconsin's about 54% turnover.
Oh, my gosh.
So that means every nursing home has to replace every other worker every year.
Wow, it's hard to get people properly trained if you're rotating them out every other year.
And vetting them,
wow.
Teaching
and
them.
Expensive to train new people.
Very expensive. So that's what we know right now. But, again, there's going to be some exceptions, like for rural nursing homes. Will there be exceptions for pay? Will there be exceptions for hours? And, there's a federal mandate now. So people are very happy that this is a step forward.
That is good perspective, how it impacts us here in Wisconsin. It is 4:14 at WTMJ. Debbie helps get you home up next.
Tony Drake here from Drake & Associates. Big news. Our Retirement Ready radio show is moving to a new time slot. Catch us at noon every Saturday. At Drake & Associates, we craft tailor-made plans that not only meet your financial needs, but align seamlessly with your unique lifestyle. Tune in at noon on Saturdays and get retirement ready.
Drake & Associates, LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates, LLC does not provide legal or tax advice.
Here's to sweet summer days together with friends and family in Wisconsin. To discovering magic in every moment.
Hey, Mom, over here.
And to reconnecting through a world filled with wonder.
Wow.
Here's to supper club celebrations and dancing until the sun goes down. Here's to those who Wisconsin. Plan your summer getaway at travelwisconsin.com.
John Mercure here for my good friends at Dave Drake Heating. I call them my friends because the same guy at Drake Camp's been coming to my house for more than a decade. He comes in the winter. He comes in the summer. Make sure that I'm good to go. Right now, I know that my AC is ready to go because Dave Drake Camp Heating is taking care of me big time. We've got a roller coaster week. It's going to be almost 70. It's going to be in the 30s at night. It's going to rain. It's going to be sunny. It's all that stuff at the same time. We live in Wisconsin. It's how it goes. Well, Dave Drake-Camp has been heating our homes and turning on our AC in Wisconsin for over 40 years. So they're ready for when anything happens. Whether you're experiencing a home comfort dilemma, just call Dave Drake-Camp Heating. Whether it's a free estimate for new equipment, call my guys. You need routine maintenance to ensure your system is ready for anything, it's Dave Drake-Camp Heating. Get in touch with them today. Dave Drake-Camp Heating, because your comfort is their family's tradition. They've been coming to my house for a very long time. DaveDrakeCamp.com.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Veterans benefits denied? Call Tayback for the payback. Brave Americans who served shouldn't be denied benefits or have a disability claim incorrectly evaluated by the VA. If you're one of those vets, call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
Traffic and weather, Debbie Lazaga. How we doing out there?
Well, we've got an incident on southbound 43 right about at Wells Street. It was blocking a couple of lanes of traffic. Now it's off onto the right shoulder. So that's going to be adding to your headaches as you're making your way through, heading towards the Marquette from about Fond du Lac Avenue. Now, the northbound side, you're seeing backups from before Fond du Lac all the way up to Keefe. We've also got backups westbound 94 from about 25th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. And then on the westbound 894, slowing down from the Mitchell interchange all the way almost to Forest Home with that construction zone right there. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Isolated evening showers tonight, a low of 51 degrees. Tomorrow, scattered showers in the afternoon, a high of 67. On Wednesday, mostly sunny, cool and breezy, a high of 51. On Thursday, mostly sunny, a high of 60. Friday, chance for rain once again, a high of 60. And it could be a soggy weekend, according to meteorologist Brian Desnansky. Right now in Milwaukee, it's 66 degrees. All right, let's talk some Brewers baseball with our guy, Brewers broadcaster Lane Grindle. Hey, Lane.
Hey, what's going on?
What
Great
a
to be
nice
with you today.
sweep in St. Louis.
Wow.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, this team's playing really good baseball right now, and they're dealing with a fair share of adversity with all the injuries that they're having to work through from a pitching standpoint. But this team shows up. They compete on every single pitch, and I think it's a reflection in many ways of its manager. You go back and watch Pat Murphy's speech to the team at the beginning of spring training. So much of what he was saying on that day is really what this team reflects on the field right now. So they're in a good place. They're playing really good baseball. You just want to stay in this mode as long as you can and get as many W's out of it while things are going your way.
You mentioned the adversity. Any update on Christian Yelich? He had been swinging the bat so well, too.
Yeah, he had been really kind of back to his 2018-2019 form, what we saw to open up the season in that small sample. No big update in terms of Yelly. There is no timetable yet on when he may return. Pat Murphy did say about an hour ago or so with the media that Christian is progressing, and so that is good news. But, what that means in terms of when, I don't think we really know that yet. This is an issue that you want to be very, very conservative with, very careful with, because when you get Christian back, you want to make sure that you don't tweak it again or you don't set yourself back. You want to be able to come back and be ready to roll when you are.
I'm not comparing Greg Matzek to Christian Yelich, but they are very similar athletes. And he's been walking around here, Lane, and he hurt his back. You're friends with him. You probably already know this, working in the yard. And he was talking about how when this has happened in the past, if he doesn't completely shut it down and be very careful, it can linger for months and months and months. And I guess that's what we're talking about with Yelich, wanting to make sure we avoid that.
Well, that's why my yard hasn't been mowed during this road trip, so I guess I've got my explanation there. No, yeah, I mean, if you listen to, because we've dealt with this with Christian over the last handful of years with the back issues, that's one of the first things he'll talk about when he has a flare-up or an incident. He'll talk about the fact that hopefully we caught it early, or hopefully we know the warning signs now to where when that starts to pop up, we can shut it down quickly so we don't make it worse. And he felt like that's what happened with this one. But it's a back. They're finicky. There is really no rhyme or reason to this, it seems like, for most guys that deal with this kind of an issue. And so you just have to be patient, which is really hard, and you have to make sure you're not overdoing it, which is really hard. And I think the good thing right now is that the team is playing very well, even in his absence, and that probably helps you be a little bit slower in terms of trying to do things the right way on your end, because you don't feel like, hey, I got to get back here because these guys need me to help them put a stop to something because we're sliding or we've lost 3 in a row. I think when the team's playing well, it's a little bit easier to focus on what you need to get done so you can get back at the right and appropriate time so you can be an effective player when you do come back.
How is it there in Pittsburgh? I can hear the sound of the bats.
Yeah, it's a beautiful day. Chilly, but not like cold or anything. You're wearing a sweatshirt if you're at the game tonight, maybe even a jacket as the night goes on. But the sun is out. The big news here is the Clemente Bridge is open again. It had been shut down for 2 years, and that is the quickest route to walk from the hotel to the ballpark. These are things we really consider when we're on the road, and it's a great bridge. It's just such a beautiful backdrop to this stadium. They had some tarp and stuff over it the last couple of years as they were doing construction, so this stadium's one of the most beautiful settings in Major League Baseball, in my opinion. And now that the Clemente Bridge is done again, you've got that beautiful yellow bridge beyond center field. It really is a great place to watch a baseball game and to call a game. Always enjoy coming to Pittsburgh. And it'll be a little cool tonight, but good April baseball weather.
Perfect.
I don't think anybody's going to be complaining about
dry.
it. No, yeah,
so
it's going to be great.
Lane,
as long as it's dry in Pittsburgh, we'll take it.
Yes. Handicap the food. How's the food in Pittsburgh at the stadium?
Yeah, I think it's good. We kind of have an internal thing in the booth where Josh Maurer, he's a big hot dog guy. So he will rate the hot dogs from stadium to stadium. And Pittsburgh's high on your list, right, Josh? He's sitting to my left. Yeah, he's shaking his head affirmative. Pittsburgh's pretty high on his list from a hot dog standpoint, so that's a good one. We do pretty well within the division in that regard. They don't offer hot dogs in the press box at Wrigley, though. That would be the one exception.
Really?
But most of the ballparks have hot dogs in the press box as the game goes on that you can go get, but I don't think Wrigley has them.
Really?
Josh, you would know.
Scandal.
No, I don't think they do. But most places do. Cincinnati's always been high on his list, too.
Snacks.
In that
do
regard.
you get
like
popcorn,
St. Louis.
sweets? Do they offer snacks?
Popcorn, sweets. They usually have some of that stuff for you. But the media dining in Pittsburgh is, I think, very good. I'm not very picky, though. I'm a kid that grew up on a farm. You put something in front of me, I'm probably going to eat it. And so I like it all. I don't critique a lot as we go around the league from a media dining standpoint, because as long as it's there and it's warm, I'm good.
The bridge is open. The food is warm. Lane Grindel's in Pittsburgh. Lane,
nice.
Thanks for making some time for us.
It is always my pleasure. Thanks so much.
It is 4:24 at WTMJ. Time for the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Good start to the week. The S&P 500 snapped a 6-day losing streak, and everything was in the green. The S&P was up 43 points. That's almost 1%. The The Dow was up 253. That's 0.2%. And the NASDAQ was up 169. That's more than 1 full percent. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Financial planning at every level. Details at annexwealth.com. Know the difference with Annex Wealth Management. John Mercure here for Griffin Hub in Milwaukee. They've got a spring special right now. You got to get that thing ready to roll for the summer. Griffin will inspect and rotate your tires, check your battery, a complete multi-point inspection, check your heat, change your wiper blades and your air filter for $179.95. It is Griffin Hub in Milwaukee. Jim Griffin's team going to take really good care of you. Right now at the Hub, 200 new vehicles in stock, from the practical Pacifica and the iconic Wrangler to the luxurious Grand Wagoneer and the powerhouse Ram truck. $299 leases are back. Lease a 24 Jeep Compass Lux 4x4 for $299 a month with $29.99 down. Save big on a new 2023 Gladiator Sport. That's a 4x4. 27% off MSRP. That's a Griffin Hub exclusive. And starting this month, there are huge reductions on 24 Pacificas. Hub has dozens to choose from, with prices being lowered about $5,000. 111 pre-owned vehicles in stock with prices from $69.95. Carfax top-rated dealer. It's Griffin Hub Milwaukee. Stop into Griffin Hub today.
A Brewers Group outing is the best way to celebrate any special occasion. Birthday parties, anniversaries, or bachelor parties. You can count on the Brewers to host. Brewers account reps make your day at the ballpark a breeze. Plus, get set up with customizable tailgate spaces, seating blocks in your favorite spot at American Family Field, and much more. Start planning your group outing now at brewers.com/groups.
Make this summer the best one yet. Let Fox World Travel plan your next family vacation. Whether it's a magical Disney escape, an all-inclusive resort in paradise, or a thrilling European adventure, we offer exclusive savings for your family. Enjoy exciting activities, educational experiences, or peaceful retreats where you can relax and recharge with our trusted partners like Globus Family of Brands, Disney, and Insight Vacations. Visit foxworldtravel.com or call 866-GO-FOX-GO to start planning your summer vacation today.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. When it comes to painting, don't do it yourself. Call the pros at your local neighborhood CertaPro painters. That's what we did. CertaPro came out, gave us choices, walked us through the process, and then when they were there, it was quick, it was easy. Our home is beautiful. Excellent workmanship all the way around. It's CertaPro painters. Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated right here in Wisconsin. Schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro painters.
There's a reason people sold to Grandview Homes instead of using a real estate agent.
Very fair price. No real estate agent fees or closing costs.
Within weeks, we had closed and couldn't be happier.
Visit GrandviewHomes.com to discover the easiest and fastest way to sell a home.
Now there's a simple, easy, and effective way to clean your nose and protect your health. It's called Navage. Navage, available at Navage.com.
Welcome back to Ask Hasselus. I'm Weston. What's your question?
Why is abbreviation such a long word?
That, my friend, is one of life's unanswerable questions.
I mean, you'd think someone could make it shorter.
Oh, you mean like instead of saying buy one, get one, you can just say BOGO.
Yeah, kinda.
Through Monday at Hasselus Mattress, buy a new Sealy Posturepedic, Serta Perfect Sleeper, or Beauty Rest mattress, and we'll give you a free box spring or an equal amount off an adjustable base.
Or, in other words,
BOGO.
Right.
Plus, free next day delivery and employee-free showrooms.
You mean I don't have to deal with pushy salespeople?
No.
So I can try out all the mattresses
solo.
And through Monday, I can
BOGO.
You're a man of few words. I like that.
Buy a new Beauty Rest, Sealy Posturepedic, or Serta Perfect Sleeper and get a free box spring or an equal amount off an adjustable base. Now through Monday at Hasselus Mattress. Find a self-service showroom near you or shop online at Hasselus.com.
Each day there's a sliver of time when you can almost breathe freely, and you feel better when you can, but you know that eventually that sliver of time closes, along with your nose. It puts a damper on your day every day. So you pop a pill or you take a spray to try to get that relief back, but it's always short-lived. And all the while in your efforts to give yourself relief, you may be making your nasal breathing problems worse. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula, and a simple in-office procedure from Advent called balloon sinuplasty could be the fast and convenient answer to your breathing triangle problems. Advent has been a leader in this procedure, which can be hard to find elsewhere. It's simple, there's little to no downtime, and it really can be life-changing.
Go to AdventKnows.com to schedule your appointment because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Breathe well with simple solutions. Breathe well with simple solutions. AdventKnows.com.
Results may vary.
Sendik's Food Market, your trusted local grocer, since 1926.
Check out Sendik's anniversary specials this week. Natural pork baby back ribs or boneless skinless grade A chicken thighs for just $2.98 per pound. Happy 98th, Sendik's.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 4:30. I'm John Mercure. Your top story, new rules for nursing care.
I'm Julia Fellow, no longer on the endangered list.
I'm Debbie Lozica. Southbound on 41, still going to be a backed up ride from Appleton Avenue all the way down past Capitol Drive, down to Burleigh. We've also got some delays on southbound 43 from just before Hampton all the way down past, basically past Keefe, and then you're back on the brakes heading down past Fond du Lac Avenue through the Marquette. Westbound 94 slowing down out of the Marquette interchange all the way to about Hawley Road. We've also got a couple of pockets of heavy traffic along the southbound bypass, one just south of Greenfield, another one heading into basically the Beloit Road area. Did have a disabled vehicle right at the exit to Oklahoma Avenue, but that's out of traffic. Just a little bit of a backup right around that neck of the woods. I'm Debbie Lozica with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, an isolated shower is possible, a low of 51. Tomorrow, scattered afternoon showers, a high of 67. It's currently 66. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Vice President Kamala Harris stopping in La Crosse and announcing new rules to help nursing home care workers nationwide. The Biden administration will set minimum staffing levels and require 80% of federal funds be used to pay employees. Service Employees International Union Secretary-Treasurer April Verrett says it's a change with massive historical significance.
We have an opportunity to transform work that used to be done by enslaved women to family-sustaining work. And that will have deep ramifications for our society.
4 out of 5 nursing homes in the country receive federal funds.
2 deadly bus crashes within 48 hours. A car collided with a Milwaukee County Transit bus near 35th in Wisconsin Saturday night. 1 passenger in that car died at the scene, with the driver rushed to the hospital and then taken into custody. Less than 48 hours before, a speeding vehicle ran a red light near 35th and Capitol Drive, hitting a Milwaukee County bus last Thursday on Milwaukee's northwest side. The driver of that car died. 7 passengers plus the bus driver were injured.
After these deadly bus crashes, is there a pattern? Founding member of the Coalition for Safe Driving, MKE, Celia Jackson, tells TMJ4 News what needs to change.
We have to continue to beat the drum and call for safer streets and safer driving. I just don't think that hearing it in the form of everybody slow down resonates in all of the places that it needs to.
MCTS leaders say reckless driving crashes involving buses are up 40% so far this year.
An 83-year-old man from Franksville charged with possession of child porn. Thomas Fermani, arrested today after Racine County Sheriff's investigators seized and searched numerous electronic devices in his home. Fermani admitted to downloading, viewing, and possessing child pornography. He's being held at the Racine County Jail on $500,000 bail.
Opening statements and the first witness to start the first criminal trial of a former president. CBS's Robert Costa was at the Manhattan courthouse.
What the defense argued through the Trump lawyer Todd Blanche is that Trump ultimately wasn't really a participant in any scheme. All he was doing was paying his lawyer, Michael Cohen. The prosecution is saying that's not true. Yes, Trump might have called it legal fees when he made his payment to Cohen, but he knowingly was a participant in a scheme to cover up payments to Stormy Daniels with the intent of blocking any kind of coverage of his alleged sexual encounter years ago.
Donald Trump faces 34 felony counts of falsifying business records to allegedly hide hush money payments in order to influence the outcome of the 2016 election.
Tennessee lawmakers considering a bill that would allow teachers to have guns on the job.
Proponents like Republican State Representative Bud Hulsey say many districts don't have the money for school resource officers.
I do think it's a reasonable option.
The requirements would include a carry permit, 40 hours of training, and a psychological evaluation. Not enough, says retired Air Marshal and current self-defense teacher Michael Moore.
It's just more guns in the fight, and I don't think that's safe.
For the second week in a row, students have demonstrated against the proposal at the state capitol in Nashville. Peter King, CBS News.
A federal ruling could impact Wisconsin's annual sturgeon spearing season.
The prehistoric fish are no longer in need of Endangered Species Act protections. That's according to a decision by U.S. wildlife officials released today. In 2018, an Arizona-based group had asked the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service to list lake sturgeon as endangered or threatened. The Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources reported 432 sturgeon were taken in during the spearing season last February, with numbers this winter hampered by warm weather and poor ice conditions. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Time for a TMJ4 sports update from WTMJ Sports Update, not TMJ4. From the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. After sweeping the Cardinals in St. Louis, the Brewers' 7-game road trip continues tonight in Pittsburgh with the first of 4 against the Pirates. And that has dropped 6 straight. Wade Miley placed on the 15-day injured list, retroactive to April 19th with an elbow inflammation. Coverage of tonight's game begins at 5:05 on WTMJ. Our Bucks own a 1-0 series lead over the Pacers in their best-of-7 playoff series. Giannis is not expected to play in Game 2 Tuesday night due to a calf strain, and it's draft week in the NFL. The Packers own 5 picks in the first 100, including number 25 overall and the Thursday's first round.
Citing unlimited WTMJ News Time, 4:36.
This report sponsored by Pella of Wisconsin. Discover Pella now, pay later at PellaWI.com.
Beautify your entertainment space with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Hi, this is Gina Della from Pella. Turn your ordinary space into something extraordinary with brand new Pella windows. The luxurious look, sleek design, and custom colors available is guaranteed to give your home the extra pop to entertain and keep you comfortable. At Pella, we see windows differently. We have the highest rated energy efficient products and a complete range of durable, functional, and high-quality products that bring out the best of your home. Plus, getting the perfect windows and doors for your home has never been easier. Right now, get 0% interest for up to 36 months, or no down payment, no interest, and no payments for up to 18 months if you book before April 30th. That's right, get 0% interest for up to 36 months, or no down payment, no interest, and no payments for up to 18 months. If you book before April 30th, take ownership of your living space and make it a place worth living with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
So the first Stars and Stripes honor flight of the season was on Saturday. 115 local veterans, 8 from Korea, the rest from the Vietnam War, flown to Washington, D.C. and celebrated like the heroes that they are, given a day of honor. I was on the flight, and I had the chance. So the way honor flight works is there are 4 buses on each plane. We take 2 planes. So there are 8 buses. Each bus has a bus captain. So I was a bus captain on the green bus, which means that I'm responsible for 15 veterans and their guardians all day long. One of those on my bus was an incredible guy named Patrick Orlando. He was in Vietnam on Saturday's flight.
I was in Vietnam from 1969 to 1970. I started out as a door gunner on a helicopter, went on to be a crew chief, and then eventually a platoon sergeant.
Tell me what that was like to be a door gunner on a helicopter in Vietnam at the height of the war.
Well, about the only way I can explain it is probably the most exciting job I ever had, as far as I liked the fact of you got to see a lot of the country. And some days we would fly VIPs around. Sometimes we would have resupply missions, and sometimes we'd have the combat assault missions. They're all interesting missions there.
What's the scariest thing that happened to you in Vietnam?
I think when we were flying VIPs, and a lot of people would think VIPs don't want to go in some of the bad stuff, but these majors that want to become colonels do. And we landed in the middle of 2 mountaintops, and he was going to have a meeting in the one of the Buddhist temples. And when we had the helicopter rotors shut down, they opened fire on us. And we took something like 14 bullet holes and managed to get the helicopter flying again, but we only got like 2 miles before we ran out of engine oil, and then we had to auto-rotate down. But that was probably the worst one.
That's scary.
Yeah, well, I got some other ones too, but that was probably the scariest it was because it took us so long to get out of there.
The Vietnam Wall is behind us. When you're here at the Vietnam Wall, what are you thinking about?
I think of the people that I knew that died there, and there's some that are especially close to me, and Stanley Crawford happens to be one of them. He's probably the most memorable one. The thing that people got to understand, too, is we volunteered for flying, so the element of danger we knew ahead of time.
What emotions go through you when you're standing at the wall here and you see Stanley's name or you see other people's names?
It brings me back there, and it's not a place I take my head to too often. You know, it's kind of like I put that on a shelf. It doesn't traumatize me to bring it down, but it all comes down when you come to a place like this.
What was your homecoming like when you came back to the United States after your time in Vietnam?
Well, I came back through Travis Air Force Base in California, and it was pretty bad. I mean, I was told to get my uniform off as fast as I possibly could. And so it was bad in California, and then when I wound up getting home, it's like people didn't even know you were gone. They tried to block that portion of who's ever going to be gone out of their mind. So you came back home, it's like you didn't get any sympathy or any attaboy or whatever, nothing.
How tough is that? You go to Vietnam, you wear the flag on your shoulder, and you come home and people didn't respect what you had done.
That was really hard, and actually after I got back a couple years later, then I decided to go into the Army Reserve, and the bad taste for the military was still there. And it was hard to get through it, and but eventually the pendulum swung. And I mean, it swung the most during 9/11. I'm afraid it's starting to swing the other way again.
Talk about your honor flight day and what this means to you.
Well, this is like way more than I ever expected it to be. I mean, I can't believe the amount of people that participated in this, and not only our own city, but when you get here, and there's just veterans from all over the place, and these people here that are organizing this it's amazing. And I can't say enough. I got to get a lot of my friends to at least experience this, especially the ones that had a bad experience coming home.
What is it about today that's special?
The special thing is I'm getting to spend it with my daughter, who's going to make it a career too, and I wish I could bring them all here, all three of them, but at least with Yvonne, she's following in the footsteps, so she gets to be amongst the people. I mean, it's all a big fraternity. That's the way I look at it.
Well, thank you for your service. We don't take it for granted. We appreciate it. Thank you so much for your service.
Yeah, thank you.
Patrick Orlando, and his daughter, who he referenced, was his guardian, and she's in the military, and she is delightful. So you heard him say he would encourage his veteran brothers and sisters to go. We want to fly as many of our heroes out to Washington as we can. The easiest way is to go to the website, starsandstripeshonorflight.org, and there's an application there for a veteran to fill out, or you can fill it out for your veteran. Starsandstripeshonorflight.org. We have flights coming up in May and June, and then again in the fall. So please, for more information, how to help the organization, or to sign your veteran up, let's get them to Washington. Starsandstripeshonorflight.org.
Thank you for doing that, John. It's so nice.
Oh, it's my pleasure every single time. They're our heroes. It's 4:43 at WTMJ. The Trump trial had an early end today, but there were opening statements. There was a key witness. We will be live in New York up next.
Tony Drake here from Drake & Associates. Big news. Our retirement-ready radio show is moving to a new time slot. Catch us at noon every Saturday. At Drake & Associates, we craft tailor-made plans that not only meet your financial needs, but align seamlessly with your unique lifestyle. Tune in at noon on Saturdays and get retirement ready.
Drake & Associates, LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates, LLC does not provide legal or tax advice.
Inflation is real, but not at the family-owned Mine Shaft restaurant in Hartford. WTMJ's John Mercure here. This is new. Every Monday when you buy one pizza, you get a second pizza for free. That's right. You buy 5 pizzas, you get 5 free. Buy 10 for the folks you work with, you get 10 free pizzas. Coaches and teachers, bring your team or school club. Your players will love the pizza, and they'll love that world-class game room. It's super affordable team bonding. Bring in pizza today for your loyal employees if you work second shift. They'll remember you, and a great way to start the week is your second pizza's free. Don't cook and clean. Mondays are tough enough. Enjoy that free pizza at the Mine Shaft. Your kids and grandkids will love that huge game room. It's big food. It's big fun. It's the Mine Shaft. Order now. You can pick up your pizza shortly or dine in. The Mine Shaft in beautiful downtown Hartford and just off the interstate in Oshkosh. Buy one pizza today, get one free. For an easy Monday, desserts are also buy one, get one free. Just walk on in. MineshaftRestaurant.com.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
One of the best things about being in business for 25 years is having clients recommend AccuNet to their now adult children for help buying their first homes. That's how I connected with Dan and Allison, and let me tell you, they were fast learners. They quickly embraced our most powerful tool for winning offers, Appraisal Wiggle Room. Their first offer was $15,000 over asking and included a provision which AccuNet guaranteed they could afford to make, that they would still pay the higher offer price even if the appraised value came in up to $15,000 short. The result? Accepted offer versus several others on the very first try. And by the way, if the appraisal had come in $15,000 short, which it did not, Dan and Allison would have needed exactly $0 extra dollars at the closing table. If you think all mortgage lenders are the same, think again. Go with a multi-generation mortgage lender that has the tools and know-how to help you win. Click on the blue button today at accunet.com.
Since 1955, Geist Garage Doors has been the trusted authority in Wisconsin. Hey, it's Greg Matzik. Don't let a busted garage door get you down. Give my friends at Geist a call. Doors and openers for every budget are available, and they'll even build custom designs to meet your exact needs. Check out GeistDoors.com or call 262-784-4250. Or do what I did. Check out their amazing showroom in Brookfield featuring hundreds of doors, openers, and their custom design room. Wherever you are in southeast Wisconsin, don't think twice. Call Geist.
Don't think twice. Call Geist.
Traffic and weather. Let's get a look at the roads with Debbie Lazaga.
All right, well, we've got some delays southbound on 43 as you're making your way down from just before Capitol Drive all the way down past Locust. You'll be back on the brakes from about Fond du Lac Avenue all the way down through the Marquette and over the high-rise bridge. Northbound slowing down from before Fond du Lac up to Keith. Westbound 94 is backed up from 25th Street to Hawley Road. Southbound 41, kind of a hefty ride there from Silver Spring pretty much all the way down past Capitol Drive. We do have a broken down vehicle on the northbound side right about at Silver Spring, but that's off on the right shoulder. Shouldn't cause you too much of an issue there. Hey, be our eyes on the roads. Report accidents, slowdowns, and road conditions to the WTMJ Hall Volkswagen traffic tip line at 414-238-9329. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, isolated evening showers are possible. The low will be 51. Wind gusts up to 30 miles an hour. Partly cloudy tomorrow. Some scattered afternoon rainstorms. High of 67. And then the temperatures begin to fall tomorrow night. Wednesday, mostly sunny, cooler, breezy. High of 44. Thursday, some morning frost, mostly sunny. The high will be 53. Friday, a chance of rain, storms, and it'll be breezy with a high of 60 degrees. Currently, it's 67 degrees in Milwaukee.
Want to get you the latest on the Donald Trump criminal trial from Manhattan. ABC's Peter Haralambos is with us this afternoon from the courthouse. Peter, thank you so much for making some time for us.
Yeah, my pleasure. Happy to be here.
So, opening statements and one witness today. Let's start with the opening statements. What were the key takeaways?
Yeah, I mean, I think fundamentally this was the first time the jurors have heard the allegations against Trump in detail and the first time they heard Trump's defense. prosecutors came in strong, saying, quote, it was election fraud, pure and simple, when Trump arranged these catch and kill and hush money payments to suppress negative stories ahead of the 2016 election, arguing that it was his scheme to corruptly influence the voters from getting that information. Trump's lawyers fired back, saying the former president's innocent. He didn't commit any crimes. Yes, he influenced an election, but there's nothing criminal about that. That's how democracy works. For example, signing a non-disclosure agreement and paying a porn star, while that might not be the most pleasing or positive-sounding headline for the former president, it's not a crime. So that's the jurors, I guess, first take of the case. And we got to hear from the first witness in the case, the National Enquirer's publisher, David Pecker.
Did it kind of come out of nowhere when everything came to a halt because of a juror that needed medical emergency?
You know, it kind of came as a surprise, more so that at least another one of these jurors raised concerns that they might not be able to be fair and impartial. So for context, last Thursday, we lost two seated members of the jury because they were concerned about the amount of attention that had come out about them, and they had raised concerns about their fairness and impartiality. Again, when we started the case today, the first thing that happened, in addition to a juror flagging that they needed to end early today to go to a dentist appointment for a rather urgent issue that had come up, another juror said they were concerned they couldn't be fair and impartial. Ultimately, they stayed on the case. They didn't lose him yet. But again, this is a 6-week case with only 18 jurors, 12 main jurors and 6 alternates. So it'll be really important to see if we end up losing any of these jurors early on, and if that might end up in a mistrial.
I didn't know that one.
Wow, that seems to not be a good indicator on the first day of testimony.
I mean, it's a little stressful. I mean, we're talking about a very lengthy case, and we only have 6 alternates. If you go beyond that number, we're in risky territory for the DA's office, and I don't think anyone wants to have to go through this trial all over again. Neither Trump nor the DA's office wants that to happen, so we'll have to keep an eye on that.
So you mentioned the first witness, David Pecker, the guy in charge of the National Enquirer. He has immunity. He's testifying. Does he seem credible? Does he seem likable?
I think we're still figuring that out. Honestly, we didn't get to hear that much about David Pecker today. He only got through a few, less than an hour, really, of his direct examination. But the information that the jury's gotten thus far isn't the most flattering. David Pecker introduced himself as the former, publisher of a number of tabloids, familiar tabloids to anyone who's ever been to a grocery store in the United States. For example, the National Enquirer, that's the chief one in this case. And Pecker explained that he gave his journalists, his editors, $10,000 to pursue any story they'd like. Essentially, just hunt down anything salacious, anything that will lead someone to buy one of these tabloids. And the fact that he had full editorial control over the entire business. It didn't give the best impression of David Pecker to start, and we haven't even gotten into the heart of the allegations, this scheme to identify and then kill negative stories about Trump.
What were the reports on how Donald Trump appeared in court today?
He seemed a bit uncomfortable. I can't get in Donald Trump's head. I sit maybe 10 feet from him in court, but he had to sit through a rather lengthy opening statement from a prosecutor in this case who highlighted not some of the best parts of his past. For example, if you recall the famous Access Hollywood video where Trump could be heard bragging about grabbing women, this was the one that was released in October 2016. The prosecutor read the transcript of that entire interaction in front of the jury, slowly recounting each word. Trump bragging how you can do anything you want around women, and he had to sit through that. He had to sit through the allegations that he corruptly attempted to influence an election. And as soon as he got out of the courtroom around noon, he railed against the case, calling it a witch hunt, calling it election interference, attacking one of the witnesses in the case, Michael Cohen. He did not seem happy with the entire day.
What about the jury? How were they? Were they really actively involved, or how were they?
So today, they were even taking notes today. They were that involved and that engaged. They had their eyes locked on Pecker and their eyes locked on the lawyers as they delivered their opening statements. I guess the one thing to keep an eye out for with this jury, though, is the stress that they might be under. On Friday, during the voir dire process, the jury selection process, we lost, 3 witnesses cited anxiety as the reason they couldn't serve as jurors on this case. 2 of them left the courtroom in tears, saying that they've thought about it hard and they can simply not bear the stress of overseeing this case and deciding Trump's guilt. So it's unclear if that anxiety impacts any more of these 18 jurors, 12 jurors and 6 alternates, but we'll have to see, because it's certainly a stressful situation to be stared down by the former president for hours on end as you determine his guilt.
So, Peter, tomorrow could be very interesting before that jury even comes back. You mentioned Donald Trump railing at the break, and a hearing on the gag order tomorrow, whether he's violated it and what happens next. What do you expect to take place in that hearing?
I mean, it could be a really costly hearing for the former president. Prosecutors have asked to hold Trump in 10 counts of contempt of court, fining him $1,000 for each count, alleging that he violated the gag order in this case and even attempted to influence or intimidate witnesses. When he left the courtroom this afternoon, Donald Trump also railed against Michael Cohen again. It's fully possible that prosecutors come into tomorrow's hearing at 9:30 and tack on an additional violation based on what Trump said about Cohen in the hallway. Once that hearing wraps up and we get a determination from the judge, we'll go back into the testimony of David Pecker, who's expected to get into more of the substance of the case, the actual catch-and-kill scheme, a famous 2015 meeting at Trump Tower in which him and Michael Cohen and Trump agreed to identify these stories, essentially serve as the eyes and ears of Trump's campaign for negative press.
And Peter, last Friday, we unfortunately had a man set himself on fire right outside the courthouse. How was the security today?
Security was tight. As I was walking to the courthouse this morning, I saw what appeared to be about 50 officers kind of preparing for the day. They were getting their marching orders from their commanding officer. There was really security as far as the eye could see. At times, it was hard to even see Trump because he was surrounded by that much security. There wasn't that much of a commotion today outside of court. There were at most about 10 Trump supporters who were in support of the former president in a park near the courthouse. But it seems as though there's an overwhelming amount of police officers and court security and not much of a presence of protesters or agitators near this actual courtroom.
Peter Haralambos was in court today at the Trump trial in Manhattan. Thank you so much, Peter. We appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me.
It is 4:55 at WTMJ. We've got news at the top of the hour, then Brewers baseball from Pittsburgh. First, here's Rich Kirchen, the senior reporter at the Milwaukee Business Journal.
Frozen pizza maker Palermo Villa plans to expand production by constructing a 200,000 square foot facility in West Milwaukee on the former Freighter Maltz site. The new plant will hire 50 employees and open in 2025. Drug maker Eli Lilly reaches an agreement to buy a Pleasant Prairie pharmaceutical plant from Nexus Pharmaceuticals. Eli Lilly eyes a 2025 start date for manufacturing. A new CEO for the parent company of Case IH in Racine, Scott Wines, surprises analysts by resigning, and CNH Industrial promotes Garrett Marks from a sister company as Wines' replacement. I'm Rich Kirchen with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Business headlines sponsored by the Pfister Hotel. Make your reservation today. Visit thepfisterhotel.com.
For over 130 years, the Pfister Hotel in downtown Milwaukee has been delighting guests with impeccable service and luxurious accommodations. Celebrate your next special occasion with a stay at the Pfister. Enjoy fine dining at its acclaimed restaurants and pamper yourself with a service from the Well Spa and Salon. Experience the hotel's afternoon tea program or take in live music with the best views of the city from Blue, the 23rd floor cocktail lounge. There's always a reason to celebrate with the Pfister Hotel. Make your reservations today at thepfisterhotel.com.
Ready to tackle that honey-do list? WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Inspired Closets. Spring cleaning time. My friends Katie and Dan at Inspired Closets want to help you calm the chaos. Inspired Closets will transform your closets or laundry room, your pantry, any space in your house. They come out for a free visit and use their 3D software to tailor a space specific to you. Right now, get 10% off or 18 months free financing. Contact them today for more details. Tell them Vinny sent you. InspiredClosetsMilwaukee.com.
I wish there was an app to match you with the perfect plumber. Like a dating app, only instead of finding a mate that's just your type, you're connected with a plumber to fix your pipes. Well, until someone invents plumbersonly.com, Mr. Holland's Home Services is looking for a long-term relationship with an experienced plumber. Whether you're a rookie, a journeyman, or a master plumber, we'd love to get to know you. We're searching for a special someone to treat our customers right. A well-mannered plumbing professional with drive, enthusiasm, for learning. In return, we will lavish you with a bouquet of benefits, wonderful wages, and other appealing perks. Apply online at mrhollandhomeservices.com/careers. Seriously, an app that connects you with a proficient pipe fitter? Maybe we could call it P-Harmony. You know, P for plumbing? That's $1 million idea. Hey, if you're ready to swipe right on a new career, visit mrhollandhomeservices.com/careers.
CertaPro painters know how important your home is to you. I know how good a job they do because CertaPro painters did our house. WTMJ's John Mercure here. It was professional, it was easy, it was quick, and it was efficient. And so affordable. It's CertaPro painters. They get the job done right. Even those hard-to-reach places, they will knock out of the ballpark. Free estimates, reliable communication, professional painting, all at the right price. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro painters. Choose the team we went with, CertaPro painters.
There's a reason people sold to Grandview Homes instead of using a real estate agent.
The process with Grandview was virtually effortless. They give you a fair price offer, close quickly, and pay promptly.
Visit GrandviewHomes.com to discover the easiest and fastest way to sell a home.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
The pitch. Hit to left, deep, warning track, at the wall, and it is gone. Jackson Chourio.
The Brewers are out east in Pittsburgh to take on the Pirates of the Allegheny River. Coverage of Game 1 begins tonight at 5:05 on your home of the Milwaukee Brewers. News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 5 o'clock. I'm John Mercure. This is Wisconsin's Afternoon News. Your top story, a growing memorial for a slain teen.
I'm Julia Fellow. Job training for some special seniors.
I'm Debbie Loziga. Going to be a slow ride on 43 southbound. The ramp from Wells Street, we got the right lane blocked with an incident. And those delays stretch all the way back to Capitol Drive. So it's going to be slow all the way down and over the high-rise bridge. Otherwise, westbound 94 backed up from 25th Street out to Hawley Road. Debbie Loziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
An isolated shower possible tonight, a low of 51. Tomorrow, scattered rain, a high of 67. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, pink ribbons filling Warnemont Park this weekend as community members create a memorial for Sade Robinson. Pink was her favorite color. Barbara Jones tells TMJ4 News she wants to commemorate the bright personality that was lost.
Really came out to not only memorialize the memory of Sade, but to bring some good spirits and beauty to a place that Anderson turned so ugly.
The man accused of murdering Sade Robinson appeared in court today wearing a Milwaukee County Jail orange jumpsuit and his hair in a ponytail. Maxwell Anderson waived his right to a preliminary hearing this afternoon. His attorney, Anthony Cotton, entered a not guilty plea on his behalf. Anderson is accused of first-degree intentional homicide, mutilating a corpse, and arson of the victim's car after authorities found multiple severed body parts belonging to Sade Robinson scattered across Milwaukee County.
A Kenosha man being held in the Racine County Jail after being stopped and then chased by police. Mount Pleasant police initially stopped a 31-year-old for speeding. Once stopped, police identified the smell of marijuana. Then Hackett admitted, that's the man stopped, to having an open bottle of alcohol. He sped off, crashed the car, and ran into woods. A K-9 found him. This morning, they found a discarded backpack where he had been hiding. It contained a firearm and his ID cards. The firearm was reported stolen by a sheriff's office in Arkansas. Hackett faces numerous charges.
Wisconsin is seeing a rise in scam phone calls saying your power is getting cut off. Michelle Reinen with the Department of Agriculture, Trade, and Consumer Protection tells Wisconsin's Weekend Morning News timing is not a coincidence. The actual winter moratorium on power shutoffs ends on April 15th, which already passed.
We did predict an increase when April started of these scammers coming to try and confuse consumers as to when that date was, as well as knowing that when that date passes, utility companies could legitimately reach out.
Reinen says utility companies will never reach out by phone if there's a potential shutoff. It will always be in writing.
Major changes coming to Wisconsin nursing homes. The Biden administration putting new rules in place to set minimum staffing levels and improve pay for care workers at federally funded nursing homes. Vice President Kamala Harris making the announcement in La Crosse today. She says it'll be a major improvement for residents and workers alike. 4 out of 5 nursing homes nationwide receive federal funds and will be affected by the new rules. It is 5:03 at WTMJ. That's a wrap for us. It's Brewers baseball up next. The Crew in Pittsburgh to begin a 4-game set.
As you're cheering on your favorite team, leave your home comfort to Carrier. Whether